this rain, well, I imagine not everybody's on the East Coast, Richmond area. So, yeah, anyway, it's been raining a lot in Richmond. It's been nice. It's been nice. I like the rain. I long for the rain sometimes. It's nice. Anyway, just kind of reminding everyone the kind of shift in the class schedule. I'm going to front load the training, back load the discussion. So let's get squared away. Get yourself as comfortable as you can. We're going to go through 4 bells. Remember, first bell, taming the mind with the senses. Second bell, getting to the body. Third bell, working with the breath. Fourth bell is where we kind of set ourselves up to move into the rest of the day with the topic. This week is all about strategies for joy. And today is love and joy is called warm and fuzzy in the Army. So we'll discuss that a little bit in a minute. So get squared away and we'll begin. Settle, slow down. Let's work with the eyes first. Just look around. Notice light and shadow. The ever-present play of light and darkness. Any movement, anything moving anywhere. And then when you're ready, close your eyes or look down. Close your eyes or kind of gaze down, whatever feels safer. Go right into sound. Eyes closed, go right into sound. And establish where the sounds that you're hearing are coming from. Imagine 360 degrees. Imagine if there's sounds and coming from your front, are they coming to the right side of your front or the left side of your front? Same with back side. This situational awareness. You're familiar with this. Now once you've got the sounds squared away in terms of their location, label them. Label them. Nature sounds, people sounds, machine sounds. Birds, of course, would be nature sounds. Sounds of cars would be machine sounds. Human voices walking around, that'd be people sounds. Now, having established kind of the far perimeter, to come in closer, sense of touch. So sense of touch, think of your skin. If there's any movement of air in your room, wherever you are, you feel any air. Maybe you can start to feel temperature. Maybe there are temperatures on your body that vary, so maybe your legs or your arms uncovered by clothing maybe feel one way. Areas of your body that are covered with clothing feel another. And again, the key here is curiosity. Curiosity tames the mind every time. Let's come in a little closer. Sense of taste. Feel around in the mouth. Notice the mouth, roof of the mouth, bottom teeth, top teeth, tongue, moisture. Closer still, sense of smell pulling into the body, pulling smell in to the body, and just putting all your attention right there on the tip of the nose, right there at the nostrils, and just noticing whatever smells are accessible. It's kind of like taming all your systems: sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. It's like, okay, mind, instead of thinking about every other damn thing, let's focus right now on our gear: sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. Taming the mind, settling it down. We've spent, a little over a minute, 2 minutes settling in. Your central nervous system starts to shift. As we go into the body. We further that shift into ease and relaxation. It's not the goal, but it just happens. Comes second bell. We take that same attention into the body. That same attention into the body now in kind of the larger constructs, the larger relationships, the physical body. So the first relationship of the physical body to the moment is at its ground. At the ground. So put your attention on where your body's connected to the ground beneath you, noticing how you're connected, whether you're seated on a chair and you're connected to the backs of your legs or your feet, or you're sitting crisscross applesauce and there's the sides of the legs, the sides of the ankles, where your legs cross. Maybe you have an armor down meditation cushion and you notice where your rear end is kind of situated on the cushion. Is it balanced? Is it comfortable? And then from there you move up to the base of the spine at the pelvis. Base of the spine at the pelvis. And just starting to build the spine. You can imagine the spine is kind of floating. It's got its own spinal fluid. It's surrounded by different strands of muscles moving in different directions. It's got muscles on the inside and the outside and the back and the front. There's little pads in between each vertebrae. There's 33 vertebrae, so there's pads in between each one. So you set your spine at the pelvis, then move up to the core, and just think of releasing anything that would disrupt kind of the floating nature of the spine. The spine just kind of easily stacked on top of itself, the natural curve just kind of doing its thing. Any constriction anywhere is kind of let go, and the spine starts to float a little bit, and getting to the chest space, letting the chest or the breastbone, which is kind of the front of the spine and the chest region, imagine that opening and spreading out. Imagine the ribs opening and spreading out, everything kind of spreading out horizontally. Any kind of pull forward gets spread to the side. And maybe there's even a kind of a movement of the shoulder blades. Maybe the shoulder blades come back and down and together a little bit. And further up into the throat space, just kind of a floating kind of thing. As you're getting into the throat space, you imagine the top of the spine, which is your head. Your head is just kind of effortlessly floating on top of the spine. Really slow, kind of nod your head yes, but slow, like super slow. Just this kind of like if you were moving in water. Nod your head yes, and then nod your head no, like 2 times slower than usual. Just super slow. The head just kind of floats on top of the spine. Just little movements, little nods. And just noticing if any sensation shows up anywhere. If anything does show up, think of putting thoughts of ease or let go or it's okay or it's all good. Don't add a story to it. Just say, okay, it's all good. Just let it go. Just let it go. And the way to do that isn't to let it go like it disappears. It's to challenge the thought process. You challenge whatever story shows up with your attention. So the attention challenges thought. And so thought becomes an object to attend to as opposed to what you are attending. So your attention supersedes thought. Thoughts show up, disrupt, challenge those thoughts with your attention. So now we're going to put our attention completely on the breath as we move into third bell. Put your attention completely on a full inhale and a full exhale. Just notice where the inhale goes and where the exhale goes. Max it out. Let's do it again. Full in and full out. Now let's do that 4-7-8 we did yesterday. So breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now elongate your exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more rounds, 4-7-8. Hold at the top, elongate your exhale on your own, 4-7-8, 3 rounds. Now, let's just sit for a minute. Sit for a minute. And your thoughts arise. Your thoughts arise. Challenge your thoughts with your attention. Your thoughts do not have power. Your attention has power. So when your thoughts arise, decide whether or not you want to attend to them. If not, put your attention back on your breath. Good morning, Candace. Great to see you. Megan, hello. It's nice to kind of do the training first and then kind of go into the discussion. I also feel like there's an opportunity to participate with you all a little bit more. So feel free to chat away, and I've got it set up so I can see it. Anyway, okay, so in the Army, we have this phrase called warm and fuzzy. And I don't know if they've got that in the Marine Corps or not. But in the Army, a warm and fuzzy is a feeling of understanding and confidence. Understanding and confidence. So it's just like, yeah, I got it. Let's do this. I got it. Let's do this. Now, in the civilian world, you know, joy and love. Love is obviously understanding and, you know, spaciousness and whatever you got, I got you. And then joy is that, you know, sense of motivation, that sense of, yes, this is awesome. Let's do this. So, you know, we've got these kind of complementary kind of feelings, okay? And so they're there. Now, what typically interrupts these feelings, what typically gets in the way of these feelings is the stories that we tell. And I think one of the stories that's often told is, I'm in this on my own and life is out to fuck me. And that is a story, and it is a story that can always have justification. And part of the reason why this week I specifically wanted to talk about strategizing around joy is that you've got to challenge those stories. You have to challenge the story of isolation. You have to challenge the story of kind of being on your own. And I think one way to challenge that story is through noticing synchronicities and noticing the way certain things show up at times that seem kind of uncanny and strangely synchronistic. And the reason I'm trying to point this out is because I think there's an aspect to life that is intelligent, that is divine, that is participatory. And I think this aspect of life, it has many, many names, but I think this aspect of life is as accessible to one's mind as kind of the isolation story or on our own story. I think equally as accessible is the story of, I'll use the word God, which I'm familiar with, and forgive me if this word causes any kind of disruption, but I've grown up with the word God. So the story that God is always present. My mom taught me that. My mom, when she was dying of ALS, she had this kind of mantra. She would always ask herself, what is God's plan for me? And I trust God's plan. And then she would ask at the end of her mantra, what does love ask of me today? And love and God are often synonymous, right? We kind of look at the two as kind of one in the same. And I think that there's an argument to be made that God is participating in all aspects of our existence, and that participation shows up in ways that we often miss. And the reason why we miss them is because we are attending to different aspects. We're attending to different things. And some of the things that we're attending to, warrant our attention. They're massive things, and we have to attend to them. But in our attending to those things, we can get kind of stuck inside stories about kind of this being the way it is, or this being the way it's always going to be. And that's just a story. It's literally just a story that can be challenged. And we can challenge any story we like. And the way we challenge stories is with our attention. And so, even in the realm of embrace the suck and, suck it up and drive on and et cetera, there's still language for stories that include, a warm fuzzy, or that include, joy and love. And these stories are accessible to us. And what's nice about story is that they have a massive influence on our biology. You could think, well, it's just a story, I'm just thinking it, but it's not. It's not just a story. Your thoughts have power. Your thoughts have influence. And so how you're thinking and what story you're telling yourself is really, really significant. And what's even more significant is that the story that you're telling yourself doesn't have to be the only story you tell yourself. And so when we think about strategizing and being more kind of intentional about cultivating joy and interacting with joy, and what joy kind of comes from and leads to, we can very much speak to this notion that it's all around. It's not some kind of isolated phenomena. And I think people are rooting for us, and I think God is rooting for us. And just like this concept that love is ever present, God is ever present, that our attention can be kind of put on the things that remind us of that, and that kind of can facilitate a story of resilience, even in the face of really, really difficult stuff. So I'll pass on from there, and I of course remind you to take the time to leave a comment in the comment section of whichever medium you're kind of engaging with this. It's YouTube or Periscope or Facebook. and maybe talk about where you see the overlap of love and joy in your life, and drill down on it. Drill down on it. Think about it. Like, when's the last time something happened that was just kind of like really synchronistic? And you're like, whoa, that's pretty weird. That's cool. Or when was the last time you just kind of noticed a sense of joy and wonder in the context of love, in the context of relationships of of love that you have in your life. And while there may be a lot more in the kind of the shadow side of your experience, I know that there's also a lot of light. And sometimes when it's hard, when it's really hard, all we can see is the shadow. But keep this in mind. Light is the only thing that can make shadow, right? Light is the only thing that can make shadow. So if you're seeing shadows, there's light somewhere. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I would love to hear from you. It's great to see you. And talk to you tomorrow. Armor down. Later.